Okay, today we're going to talk about scientific notation and comparing numbers in scientific notation. One of the things you want to do is make sure that the numbers are in correct scientific notation. The mantisses between 1 and 10, and then your multiplied times the power of 10. Then you want to compare your powers of 10. A larger power of 10 indicates a larger number, and if the powers of 10 happen to be equal, then you move on to comparing the mantisses. Okay, here we have some examples. We're going to look at which number in each set is the largest. So looking at our first set, the first thing we want to do is make sure they're all in scientific notation, and here they are. And then we want to look at our exponents, and we have all of our exponents being the same. So we want to move on and compare our mantisses, and we're going to do that one digit at a time. So we're going to look at our first digit, and it's 3 for every one, so that doesn't really help us any. Then we're going to move on to look at our second digit, and we have a 4, a 1, and a 4. Well, 1 is obviously less than 4, so the 3.14 times 10 to the 5th is out. And then we're going to look at our third digit, and we have nothing, and then we have a 1. Well, that nothing would be filled with a 0 because it would be our placeholder, and 1 is larger than 0, so we can see that 3.41 times 10 to the 5th is the largest of these three numbers in the first set. Now let's look at the second set. Again, we're going to we're going to look for in scientific notation first, and these are, and then we're going to compare our exponents. And when we do that, we see we have 5, 6, and 3. Now 6 is the largest one of those exponents, so this one makes our job easy, and we know that 1.39 times 10 to the 6th is the largest number in this set. And looking at the third set, if you'll notice, 21 times 10 to the third and then 2100 are not in scientific notation. So we're going to get those in scientific notation. So 21 times 10 to the third becomes 2.1 times 10 to the fourth. When we make that mantissa smaller by moving that decimal, we have to add a power of 10. And then 2100 becomes 2.1 times 10 to the third. And now we want to compare our exponents. And so when we do that, we have 4, 4, and 3. That tells us that 2.1 times 10 to the third is out. And then we're going to compare our digits. And we have 2 and 2, and then, or we have 2 and 2.1. We can actually just compare those numbers pretty easily. And 2.1 is obviously bigger than 2, so we have 2.1 times 10 to the fourth is the largest number in that set. Now, here are some for you to complete, just comparing two numbers, and you're going to complete them with less than, greater than, or equal to. Take a minute to do these, and then come back and we will check your answers. Okay? Let's look at number 1. We have 2.3 times 10 to the 5th and 1.7 times 10 to the 5th. The numbers are in scientific notation. We look at our powers of 10, and they are the same. And now we're going to compare the mantisses. So we have 2.3 and 1.7. Well, 2.3 is bigger than 1.7, so we should put a greater than symbol in number 1. And then in number 2, one of our numbers is not in scientific notation, so we're going to rewrite that 0.012 to be 1.2 times 10 to the negative 2. And then we're going to compare, and negative 2, the power of 10, is less than negative 1. So we're going to replace that one with a less than sign. And then in the last one, we have 6.49 times 10 to the fourth, and then we have 649 times 10 to the second. When we rewrite 649 times 10 to the second in correct scientific notation, we move that decimal 2 places, and that picks up 2 powers of 10. So we get 6.49 times 10 to the fourth, and those two things happen to be equal. All right, you're going to receive a sheet now that has some for you to cut out and reorder, and it'll go into your OMG. So good luck with that, and have a great day.